What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the ADOM Facebook page. And as always, we are super excited to be coming to you with another Facebook live cast. Very, very special today as we get ready for Office Manager Appreciation Month in the month of September. So we wanted to kick it off with an awesome guest, a company that I know so many of you are familiar with. And so today, I have with me, always a pleasure, Heather Colicchio, founder and president of ADOM, as well as Angela Martinez, who is the vice president of Strategic Association and Dental Health Policy. How are you doing, ladies?
Hello.
Doing well.
All right, so we want to get right into both Angela and Heather sharing a little bit about themselves and their background and how it's all connected to this Office Manager Appreciation Month, which is really the title of this live cast. I did want to discuss real quickly some of the things that they're going to share today. A lot of exciting topics today, packed full of information. So you're going to want to watch. You're going to want to share this out. Reach out to your colleagues to make sure that they watch it as well. So here's some of the things that Angela and Heather are going to cover. So what is OMAM, or Office Manager Appreciation Month? How are they going to celebrate OMAM? Find out how dentists can get involved with honoring their awesome office managers and even winning a grand prize trip for one lucky doctor and an office manager duo to win a trip to Boca 2021. Learn how to enter the Office Manager Instagram contest to be randomly selected to receive a FADOM education package. Very exciting. Get a sneak peek of the Care Credit virtual experience before it goes live in September. Really, really cool stuff. They put together some great things there. It was a virtual experience to celebrate awesome office managers everywhere. And then they're going to discuss how you can celebrate OMAM itself. So, Heather, I want to turn it over to you. And Angela, I know you guys got a lot of great things to share today, and as you both kind of introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you, John. And welcome, everybody. It's wonderful to see everyone. And I'm just so happy to be here and talk about OMAM. OMAM is what we have lovingly dubbed Office Manager Appreciation Month, which is the month of September. That is a joint effort, a joint collaboration between ADOM and Care Credit. And so the entire month of September, we will be celebrating you. And I started ADOM, and Angela and I go way back. We're going to talk about all that. Angela, why don't you tell everyone who you are and what you do, and then we can dive into OMAM.
Absolutely. So thank you, John. Thank you, Heather. Hello to my family out there, ADOM, all of your beautiful faces. I wish I could give you all a hug in person. And this year has been extra trying because I look so forward to seeing you all in September and being able to actually give you hugs and just engage with you and have fun with you. But I know that, we will see each other again very soon, and I look forward to that. But I just wanted to, for those of you that don't know me and don't know my story, and wanted to explain why I'm such an advocate for office managers, practice administrators, treatment coordinators, all of you frontline that do so much for your practice. I started in dentistry 29 years ago. This is my 29th year. And I started when I was in high school. It was my after school kind of weekend summer job. And just, wanted to kind of learn about working in a dental practice. And my sister worked in office, so it was nice to have a little internship. And fell in love with it, absolutely fell in love with it. I started to go to school to be a dental hygienist, and I had a friend that kind of tapped me on the shoulder and gave me the pros and cons of hygiene. And she said, you really should go to business school. You have a lot of opportunities, or the business side of dentistry. And so I worked 9 years as a registered dental assistant. And then one day got tapped on the shoulder by my doctor, and my front office person at that office I was at didn't show up one day and said, go learn the front. And I was terrified, but it was a challenge that I loved because I got to learn, of course, that business side, but also of every aspect, the insurance part of it, presenting treatment plans, and then just, the coordination of the front and back. And it really helped knowing the back office. And that is really where I started to develop those leadership skills in that front office position. And then one day, I want to say in about 2002, 2003, I really can't remember the exact year, but I do remember the exact time. I got a fax that came across my desk, and it really caught my eye because I remember it said something like, do you feel like you're on an island? Or do you feel like you're all alone on an island? If you do, we're here to help. And then it said something about insurance, like we have insurance help for you. Do you struggle with claims, or something about insurance? And it was exactly what I needed at that time because I was overwhelmed. I was the only front office at my office at that time, or the only office manager doing everything in the front office. I was the insurance coordinator. I was the treatment coordinator. I was the greeter. I was everything. And then as well as backing up the back office if they needed help. So I kind of did feel like I was on my own island. And little did I know that that fax was coming from Heather, from her living room, and she was manually sending those faxes. But that was my first introduction to ADOM. And ever since that time, I really credit ADOM to the progression of my success in dentistry and in the dental industry, because I got the skills and the connections that I needed in my career that just helped forge me into where I am today. And it was, just the community of all the people that I've met, and just the help that I needed at that time. And that's why when we started planning for OMAM, we really recognized that, office managers, treatment coordinators, really need to be celebrated and have a month of celebration. We know you do so much in the practice. We know that your patients rely on you, your teams rely on you. And I think just because I've been in those shoes, and I know more than ever, especially with today's challenges, we wanted just to come and recognize you this year even more, because we know that it's been a challenge this year.
Wow, Angela, there is so much there that I want to tackle. So for those of you who are watching who don't know, I started ADOM. I can tell you it was probably around 2003. And one of the first things I did when I started was I bought a list and I sent a fax blast. And I went out to dinner. Some of you may have heard the story. And I came home, and this was in the days of the fax thermal paper, where they would physically come through your machine. And I came home, and the entire living room floor was littered with faxes. I was like, oh my God, everybody wants to join. And pretty much every one of them said, don't fax us. We're going to sue you. Take us off your list. And I went, oh no. But for every 9 of those, there was one who said, oh my God, where have you been? I need this help. I need this community. And it was those 1 out of 10 that kind of formed really the basis of ADOM. Those were the first ADOM members all those years ago. I came to know Angela through ADOM's work with CareCredit, and it wasn't until pretty far along into our relationship that we discovered the whole fax connection, that we had found each other kind of, day one. So, what I think is so special about Angela is, who can relate to her story? Probably everyone who's listening. She did it all. She's worn all the hats. She's survived all the challenges. She's done what you do, what you continue to do, and she really knows and appreciates what it takes to run a successful practice. And it shows, because CareCredit was one of the first companies to step up when ADOM was formed to say, how do we help? We know what the office manager does. We understand the value. How do we help? And they've just been phenomenal to us and our members all these years. But then Angela, came on the scene, and it really just took it to a whole new level, because she gets it. She understands exactly what's going on. And so I think Angela and I together just, we need to do something. That's when ADOM and CareCredit said we need to celebrate. We need to celebrate these amazing people in the practice managers, the office managers, the treatment, insurance coordinators who run the business of the practice. Kudos to the clinical team. Obviously, they're critical. But just like there was an association for dentists and assistants and hygienists and all that until ADOM came to being, there have been, Happy Doctors Week and Assistants Week and Hygienist Week. And it's kind of like, okay, yes, you all deserve that. But what about the person holding it all together? What about the person making the business run? And that's why last year we had the first annual Office Manager Appreciation Month, OMAM, saying, how do we celebrate, this role within the practice. So right now, really what I want everyone to do, if you're watching live, if you're listening, we're going to have some things to give away at the end. But really what I want anyone to do right now who's watching, if you're an office manager, please tell us in the comment section why you're great, and don't be shy. And like they say, it ain't bragging if it's true. So just tell us, or brag on yourself. Tell us why you're great, what you've done in your practice, certainly in 2020, but even prior, to really, add to the success of your practice, to your team, to your patients, to your community. I know it, Angela knows it, John knows it. Share it with the world. Tell everyone why you're great, why you're an awesome OM. I mean, I think enough people don't really understand or appreciate what goes into that position. And if you're watching this and you're not an OM, leave us in the comments. Tell us, why is your office manager great? And we'll share those, and we're going to share this out with the world. So now's a perfect opportunity, I think, for us to kick it off and say, tell us what you do. Tell everyone why you're so important to the practice.
I love that, Heather, because I think that a lot of times, like I'm just reflecting on myself as the practice administrator, office manager. My last practice that I was at for 9 years was my unicorn practice. I probably would still be in that practice today and retire with that practice if the owner hadn't sold and retired himself. But that was, I took it on myself that was my family. The hygienist was my best friend. My sister was my front office. The doctors were, we were just a family. And I ran that, that was a well-oiled ran office. It was just, everything was very smooth. But the one thing I probably didn't do enough was honor myself. I honored the team. I praised the team. I praised the doctors. But I think sometimes as leaders, we don't reflect on what we do as leaders ourselves. And we don't say, I'm really good at this, or I did a really good job today at this. And, sometimes you do have to just pat yourself on the back every once in a while. It's good to do that. And I think this month is really something that we want to help go viral and help other people in the industry recognize everything that you do and why you are the front line and why you hold your team, why you are so critical and crucial in holding your team together.
Absolutely. And, I started, unlike you, I had no dental background, which was neat because I got to, be totally objective. And one of the first things I noticed is, wow, the office manager does so much, but they only get tapped on their shoulder when something's gone wrong. Never when everything's going right and the patients are happy and the team is happy and the practice is profitable. That's almost understood. But when something goes wrong, that's the first person who's sought out. And that is very backwards to me. And I think it really, like you said, needs to start with, it's okay. Take a moment and praise yourself. And you're valued and you add value. And we'll be celebrating you all month, but we want you to celebrate you as well.
Absolutely.
So we have some fun things planned for September. First, though, Angela, I just want to share a quick story. I know so many of our members love CareCredit and what they bring to the practice, but I like when I can tie things in on a personal note. So literally 4 days ago or so, I was standing outside the bank with my sister, and we were talking about a relative of ours who most definitely needs hearing aids, but they're in denial. And we're saying why won't they get hearing aids? And maybe, is it financial? Can they not afford it? I didn't realize hearing aids could be so expensive, $6,000 sometimes. So this woman standing in front of us at the bank, she turned around and she heard everything we're saying because she had her hearing aids in, and she said, well, let me just tell you girls, I didn't want to get hearing aids because they are so expensive. But there's this wonderful company called CareCredit, and I signed on with them. I pay no interest every month, and I can hear everything. And I was like, CareCredit, I think I've heard of them. So yeah, it's nice to know that companies that we work with are so supported in real life, when we step outside what we do on a day-to-day. So that just made me feel good.
I love it. Yeah.
Yep. So,
and I love that she could hear you.
She heard every word. So let's talk
Yeah,
about
so we do.
September.
We have some great things planned in the month of September. I think when Heather and I were, we've been planning this for a while, pandemic, and pandemic came along, and we had to pivot a little bit. But our focus has always been on honoring the office manager, practice administrator, and making sure that this year we wanted to make sure that the team and the doctor were involved in making sure that they honored as well. So you'll see a heightened awareness with that. And we have two, as part of the celebration, CareCredit and ADOM have two great sweepstakes that we are participating with. I do have to read a legal disclaimer prior to this because they are official sweepstakes. So it's an abbreviated one, but there's no purchase necessary, and it's open to the U.S. and territory, including the D.C. and Puerto Rico, who are current CareCredit enrolled practices are physicians as of 8/31/2020, and it ends on 9/30/2020. For rules, you can go to www.carecredit.com/myawesomeom or awesomeom.dja.com. So those are two different sweepstakes that will be happening during the entire month of September. The first one is really honoring the office manager, the awesome office manager. And as John had mentioned before, it's the opportunity for the office manager, practice administrator, treatment coordinator, whatever your title or unofficial title may be, to win a FADOM fellowship education package and 1-year membership. And so in order to enter to qualify for that, you would want to, in your practice, take a picture of some type of CareCredit collateral, marketing material, anything that you might have in your practice, with a best tip or best practice that you'd want to share on Instagram with the hashtag AwesomeOM or hashtag CareCredit Sweepstakes. And in the chat box down below, again, will be the official rules with the hashtag information that you can look up. And again, in the whole month of September, we will be posting this, and you'll have the opportunity to enter for a chance to win. So that's exciting. And then the second one, as I mentioned, is really an opportunity for the doctors and the team to get involved to nominate you and your doctor for a chance to win a fully paid conference trip to the 2021 conference in Florida. And that includes a full VIP membership for the nominated office manager, practice administrator. So again, it's for your doctor and office manager. And they can go to enter there at carecredit.com/myofficeom between September 1st and September 30th. And there's a form there that they fill out. And so we're really excited about those two sweepstakes during the month of September. We really hope that we see some great best practices, and looking forward to all the engagement. I don't know, Heather, if you have anything you want to add there.
Those are the two biggies. I mean, those are very, very generous prizes, and we're thankful and grateful that we can offer those. And in true CareCredit fashion, they're based around education, which I love, which is our mission, which is your mission. Education is great. A few days in Florida, a really nice resort is pretty nice as well. And I would encourage everyone to go to the links and enter. These are just really fantastic prizes and sweepstakes that I can't wait until we choose a winner. So lots of fun. And speaking of conference, I just want to add some things that we're doing in September. So typically September is ADOM annual conference. As Angela said, that's our chance to get to hug everyone and kiss everyone and be together, which we can't do this year. But I just want to let everyone know some things we are doing in September for OMAM. So we're not doing a virtual conference. We're just going to see everybody next year in Florida. But we are doing lots of Facebook Live events. So things that would have happened at the conference, we're going to honor those and hold them, things like Chapter of the Year, ceremony, Practice Administrator of the Year, which Care Credit sponsors. That's always very, very exciting. And those will be for everyone to attend. We have our Green Leader Award. So all of the recognition that we would have been doing in BOCA this year, we will be keeping the spirit alive and holding those on Facebook Live. Our fellowship ceremony, which Angela alluded to as part of one of the sweepstakes, that we'll be having as well. And we're inducting our first class of MEDOMs. We'll be having an ADOM happy hour with a very special guest. Actually, we have some really cool special guests. I can't tell you who, but you'll be in for some surprises. So hopefully we're posting some of those links, but we're going to basically be bringing you your tribe and your community and all of the connection throughout OMAM. That's not going away. We're making sure we're doing our part to keep everybody connected. We did it during COVID, and that was kind of crisis mode. This is celebration mode. We're through that now, and we've all gotten through it, and everybody just shined, and now we're going to celebrate. As far as education, like I said, we're not doing a virtual conference, but the ADOM members said, well, we need our CE, we want our CE. Instead of saying we're going to take time off, it's like we want CE. So we did develop the ADOM fall semester. I want to speak briefly about that. That's our educational component to OMAM and to the fall. And it's impressive. It's dentalmanagers.com/fall semester. It's almost like 10 conferences in one. It's up to like 36 CE. I mean, just amazing education. There is a fee for those because those are really deep dives, next level, and there's a component where you get private Zoom time Q&A with your instructors. So I'd like everyone to check that out. I mean, now is the time. I think we all learned this year how important it is to continually stay educated and stay current. We've got the education for you, and I just want to clear something up. We do offer an all-access pass. What that is, that gives you access to everything in fall semester. Like I said, up to 36 CE. However, I just want to be clear, you don't have to take it all in September or October. You have those available for a full year. So if you're going toward your MEDOM or your FADOM, or if you're just looking for CE, don't feel like you have to get it all in all at once. Those will be available for a full year. And if there's just one course in particular where you're like, I just need this marketing lab or this HR lab, you can just do one course at a time. So, it can be as small or large a commitment as what fits your needs and your schedule.
I love the fall semester concept, and I like how you pivoted towards making sure that there was still an avenue for education in lieu of, we're not in person, and you provide so much education at conference, more than ever. And I like that you pivoted and made sure that the members still had access. And I was just thinking as you were saying that, like, if I was still in an office as an office manager and maybe my expertise wasn't marketing, or especially in this era, if you're trying to attract new patients, or you haven't been able to get your patients back from, the pre-COVID levels or things like that, this is a really great asset to have. And even beyond, like, you can take this certificate in your next, career or your next office or wherever it might be. But it's a really good asset to have just for your resume.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, every course that is a part of fall semester, you do get a certificate to go with the completion of the course. And like Angela said, now is the time to really, I think it's become clear to everyone maybe where the gaps or the holes are in your skills, because so many of our members, like you, Angela, were just, hey, can you jump in at the front desk? And then, added responsibility without any formal training, which is bizarre. I mean, that in no other industry does that happen, right? I mean, it's just on the job training. You don't know if you're doing it right. And without ADOM, you really don't have anyone to ask, am I doing this right? So I think now is a good time to just look at the offerings for fall semester and say where you'll know, like I could probably use some help, with metrics or with communication or with my leadership skills. You'll know what you need. And I think it's varied enough that there's something for everyone. And like you said, Angela, you can take that and implement it in your practice, or if when you move on, that's just another certificate that you'll have in your quiver. And I think that's important too, because we're all about empowerment and making sure personally and professionally everyone's operating at their highest level.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention about OMAM and the collaboration and making sure that we honor and celebrate is our practice development managers and practice development specialists. Will want to take this month and reach out, and they are eager to engage with you and want to celebrate. Although it may be virtually, and I think probably that's what you prefer at this point because you're overwhelmed, and we understand that. And with social distancing, we're cognizant of that. So we just want to we want you to know that we will be reaching out virtually, and we want to make sure that we're honoring you. So just be aware of that. And we're excited for this month because we know that you have really been the front line, and especially during this time, you've had to pivot so much. And this has been a time like no other. I've been, like I mentioned, I've been through the financial crisis. I worked in office during the AIDS crisis, but this is different. And I don't think any of us had a playbook to understand how to navigate this. So kudos to all of you. And we are so grateful for everything that you do for your practice and your patients. And we just want to take this month. I wish it could be a whole year long, but we want to take this month to make sure that you're celebrated.
So Heather, we've been going live here for about 5 months, right? Weekly, which is crazy to think. But your idea that you guys shared on having some of the office managers share why they are great, I loved it from the minute that I heard it. And I wanted to just read to the both of you some of what they're sharing, which I think is really cool, not only for them, like you guys said, to pat themselves on the back for all the hard work that they've done and the recognition that they deserve, but I think for other office managers to chime in and to see, what everybody else is doing. So I wanted to just read some of these of what they're sharing. Open communication with the entire staff is, especially during this COVID crisis, right? I think a lot of office managers have really dug deep into being great leaders and being open with everybody. Certainly great stuff. We have one, I turned around our office that was barely getting by into an office that is thriving. We are thriving post-quarantine, which is awesome. Here's another one, put systems in place, increase marketing, take ownership of the practice. I've been willing to change and grow on a daily basis, which is really exciting. I've worked very hard to get our practice up to date with charting on the computer, which makes it easier for everybody in the office. Even though it has been a stressful situation with COVID, we have worked to make our office better. We have been working to make the office a less stressful place. It has been hard to get everybody accustomed to charting on the computer, and it's a little daunting, but we will get there. And then a couple amens. We've got a couple, we love Angela, we love Care Credit, always nice to hear. I always continue to educate myself and never stop learning, so we're always 2 steps ahead. I've been an office manager for 3 years, been in dentistry for 16. I feel that I'm an awesome office manager. I truly helped my doctor reach his production and collection goals and helped him see how well I was educated in insurance. And this goes on and on and on. And this is just really cool. I think something we got to continue to do, Heather, because it's really important that everybody recognizes what
it is. I feel so good right now just hearing
I know.
that. Right?
I know. I'm like, God, I put mascara on. I'm going to cry.
So, just great stuff.
It's important. And that is, I think, the spirit of ADOM is we and Care Credit, we've always known and taken the time to recognize, but there's something different when you stop and say, I'm just gonna celebrate myself for a minute and look at all the reasons why. I mean, and I have to say this whole throughout COVID, Angela, you're referring to the managers as frontline workers, which I have to say, I honestly never thought of it. Frontline, you think of clinical, but I can tell you for a fact that throughout the height of the pandemic, many times the only person physically in the office was the manager, keeping it all going, paying the bills and connecting the staff, and everyone else was home because the practices were closed and the managers were there every day. So truly frontline workers. Hats off and keep this up. Yes, John, we really keep it up. And
I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve in this industry. I'm grateful for the collaboration with ADOM and to be able to honor all of you office managers and practice administrators, whatever your title may be. This is what gives me pure joy, is knowing that we have the resources to be able to do a little something for you all.
Yeah, and you said something, Angela, the word collaboration, which has been huge in this last 5 to 6 months. Heather and I talk about it all the time, and we have the opportunity to bring on great companies like CareCredit on here. It's just that I think what people are recognizing is just how close and how much closer the gap is becoming, with companies like you guys and an organization like ADOM of not only taking the time to recognize the work the office managers are doing, but taking their feedback, right? Like, what are the things that they're dealing with? What are some of the challenges that they have? And then, you're a direct link right back to so many of the great leaders at CareCredit and making sure that those products and services are available for the offices, which makes everybody better, right? It's a win-win for everybody in times like this. Great stuff.
Yeah, I agree, John. And I hope this September, this Office Manager Appreciation Month, I think we're going to see a lot more celebration by the doctors and by the team because of COVID. I think what I saw, anyway, from our members was when this hit us all like an asteroid, just anecdotally, a lot of the doctors froze. Like, they just didn't know what to do. And it was the managers who said, I got this. And between the PPP and the PPE and all these new things, it was just amazing to watch them step up and step into leadership and take charge and work with their dentists and pull everybody through this. So I really do hope this September, the dentists really do whatever they can to thank their managers and to appreciate their managers. I mean, they're spectacular every day in the day-to-day, but I think these past few months, they've really shown us what they can do.
Yeah, and I think there's several ways that they can do that. I mean, there can be, small little tokens to, here's a great option with the sweepstakes with the nomination where it doesn't, very little resources, you just nominate. But there's also small tokens, you can go to Trader Joe's or to your local grocery store and, flowers are $9.99 or, it's not, it doesn't have to be something, I think, elaborate. I think a lot of times office managers just want a thank you card, an appreciation. And I think team members can maybe just come together and do a potluck and, or I don't know if that's allowed during COVID, but, whatever it may be. But I think just small tokens of appreciation is, when I was an office manager, those are, just a simple thank you note and appreciation goes
a long way. And I would ask everyone, if your practice does celebrate you, to share it on social media, right? Because it feels good to share the love and tag ADOM and tag CareCredit. We want to see how your practices are celebrating you.
Excellent. All right. So I'm pretty sure that the ADOM team has posted, Angela, all of the comments in the thread. I don't know if there's anything else that you're going to put. And I know there was a whole host of information that both you and Heather wanted to share. So before we wrap, just wanted to, any last thoughts? Did we miss anything, or were you able to cover everything that you wanted for the awesome audience?
I think I covered everything. I made sure I covered the official rules, so I'm good there.
All right. Good. Excellent.
I think I'm good. I just want to say thank you to Angela. I mean, we go back so far, like really to the beginning. And, you said your work when you were in the practice, like that becomes your family. And when you work, you spend more time oftentimes with people you work with than you do your own family. And I'm just grateful to have you and to be able to work with you and to collaborate and to create all these wonderful things. So thank you.
Ditto. I'm very proud to work with this team. And like I mentioned, the entire industry, it brings me so much joy. This is why I do it.
Yeah, perfect. Well, ladies, thank you so much. Always a pleasure, Angela. And for everybody that's watching, like we do with these lives, especially with a lot of the great things that you all shared about why you are great. Share this out with your colleagues. Be sure to go ahead and share this episode out today. Push it out on social media so that others can see the great work that you're doing, the exciting information that CareCredit is working on in collaboration with ADOM. And
Hey, John, before we go, I almost forgot. We have some giveaways today to kick off.
Yes,
kick off the whole thing. So we're going to randomly select anyone who's commented or posted during this Facebook Live. And we, ADOM, have a $25 Amazon gift card. And Angela, you have something from CareCredit? Right?
Yeah, we have a pillow pet that we will send to a randomly selected comment.
And they are awesome if you haven't seen them. They're so super cool. You might see them around the dental shows and you're like, oh, I want one. So, John, do you want to do the honors? You want to?
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and pick somebody, right?
Mm-hmm. So for the $25 Amazon gift card. And this is just our way of saying thank you and for kicking off Office Manager Appreciation Month.
Here's what I'm going to do. In fairness, I'm going to go ahead and scroll and just put my finger down, and wherever it lands, it's that person. Here we go, and stop. We've got Karen Jordan. Karen. Yep.
And
one more.
One more.
Right, here we go. Sherry Skiles. I hope I say this right. McVall. Sherry Skiles McVall. So Sherry is our other winner. Awesome.
So someone from the ADOM team is going to, I believe, Facebook Messenger you to get your details, and we'll get those out to you.
Awesome.
And happy OMAM, everybody.
Great. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thanks, Angela. Thanks, Heather.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys.